Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to Ante-Madder. Check it out. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Fret Rescue. Located in Southeast Michigan, Joe at Fret Rescue has over 17 years of experience as a journeyman luthier. From basic setup to major repairs and restorations, you can put your trust in Fret Rescue. Contact Fret Rescue via email at fretrescue@gmail.com. You can also find them on social media by searching for Fret Rescue, @FERTRESCUE. That's Fret Rescue. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking to Mayor, Brent, Kyle, Adam, Milan, I knew I was going to screw that up still, and Tony from Ante-Madder. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
Good. How are you?
Right. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good to talk to you again, Chuck.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, I think, Mayor, you'd gotten hold of me, and I can't remember if it was via Messenger or email or something, and you mentioned this gaggle of bands you were in, and one of them was a band called Ante-Madder, and you go, hey, you want to check them out too? And I'm like, well, hell yeah, the name is sweet, and who doesn't love punk with a little bit of ska vibes? So I'm like, hell yeah, let's talk to you guys too. That's awesome. So thank you all for being on.
Not a ska band. I refuse to believe that.
Refuse.
We'll vehemently oppose that title.
I got
good
with that. I like ska bands.
Yeah.
Says the horn player.
Because you have a
That's
horn
okay, you
player,
can like
you're
'em. We're
automatically
just-
a ska band.
Yeah. No, we're jazz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
You're right.
So I like to kind of start at the beginning and kind of figure out, like, how did the band get started? How did Ante-Madder come to be?
Well, Adam's been friends with Brent for a long time, so me and Adam were in a different band called Rube Goldberg, and then the rest of these guys have been in several other bands. So it's like a couple different teams that just merged when I've always been thinking like it would be great to actually have a lead singer. And so Brent, we've seen him and he's performed.
Yeah, I was like kind of on the outskirts, and I remember it was like during COVID when everything like shut down. There was like nothing going on, and then I stumbled upon the Basement here, and Kyle like set up like was having shows in his basement and stuff. And then next thing you know, we're in a band together, and here we are.
Yep. Nice.
I had known Milan and Brent for like so long, like 7 or 8 years. The first band I ever was in was with Milan and Brent. So
yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. So you
found
guys have known each other for a while then, basically. But
Yeah, me and Brent just went like bowling once when I was like 25 for my birthday. I met him that day, and then we didn't talk for 6 years or something. And then I just like, we were having a Halloween show, and I hit him up because I remembered. I was like, are you guys playing in Max Ether? Can you guys play? And then that band had broken up, but Brent was still doing like an acoustic thing. And and then we just started going to shows together and stuff, and started jamming on Saturdays, and I haven't really missed many since.
Yeah, it's been all day every Saturday for 3 years now or something.
Yeah,
really?
something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Very nice. Awesome. So you've got, I think it's this Saturday, you got the debut release, the is it Psychosocial Pseudoscience? Is that the name of the album?
That's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is awesome.
A lot of film.
And I love the cover artwork as well. How did you guys come up with that? How did that whole that theme?
My brother did the artwork for that.
Oh, really? Cool. That's I love it. Yeah.
We're like,
Thanks. We look a lot better in that.
It's not like a time travel kind of band, so we wanted to go with like a vintage sci-fi, like 78, those old vintage movies like Barbarella and like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or whatever that all came out in the 70s.
Right.
Yeah, so we kind of wanted to go with like those kind of vibes, and we're like, I guess, time travelers, so we wanted to put some secret cryptic messages in there, so there are some clues to
it's like a dollar bill,
hidden future. Yeah, it's kind of like a dollar bill. If you fold it a few times, you see boob.
Oh.
We also have like
Yeah.
our own we have our own characters that we each play like in our lore or whatever. So like Milan is the prophet, and then I'm the wizard, and then Adam's like the cat god Mao. Brent is the archaeologist. Kiko's like an interdimensional alien, and then Kyle is just himself. Kyle's Kyle.
He's a cool dude. He's a really cool dude.
Designated cool guy.
Yeah. I saw that on the website because I saw the different characters. So, and you know, I've seen like you guys have been talking about like, you know, it took you 3 years because you were time traveling to get all the music together. But
Yeah,
how did
that was the hardest part.
how did that theme come together? Like, did you guys just think, you know, we want to jam and, you know, play some punk, but we need something else? But like, how did the time travel and all the craziness as far as characters come
time
to?
travel than the music. We're trying to get this message from the future out in order to save the world.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. We've all been musicians for like I don't know how long, and
Yeah, we've been in a lot of bands,
Yeah,
so
we've,
we just
like,
kind of wanted to
we've
try something
crossed
different.
paths like your different shows
Yeah.
and stuff, and we just happen to be in the same place at the same time. I only live like 5 minutes away, so he's got like basically a venue in his basement. So.
Yeah, Brent kind of had like this whole concept, and it just sounded awesome. And I wanted to do something that wasn't just like playing in a band again. I've been in a lot of bands, so
Yeah.
wanted to try to shake things up. And we started working on a video game together too. So
Oh, cool.
we have this whole concept, and we want to kind of bake that into the game itself.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Show up in
Yeah,
that.
it's all Bill and Ted meets Ancient Aliens meets
Yeah.
Yeah, but Brent has this whole idea that he's got this whole brainchild that's been going around in there for a long time, and we all jumped right on board.
I was like, we need a gimmick, and then we kind of just ran with it, and we kind of just like make it up as we go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It also gives us a good excuse if we're ever late.
Yeah, I was time traveling. I'm sorry, man. I was late for practice. It's fine. That's crazy. But I do love that idea. So, I know that like the couple of the songs I listened to on YouTube, you had like "Don't Hold Your Breath" and "Feeling Perpetual." Is the music theme that way as well, as far as like the whole thematic? We're time travelers trying to bring some message from the future plus
Some
the
of the
past.
songs are like definitely. Some of the songs aren't. It's like kind of a mix of both, but there's definitely a few songs that we play that have kind of that like message in there.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a like healthy mix of both. I would think. It's all up for interpretation. So.
Yeah, I think some more of the newer songs are more in that theme, because a lot of this is a lot of the band has been mining Brent's old stuff, you know, like those songs that he was playing in my basement when he came over that first time that I met him. We play most of those songs now, and they're very different. That's kind of the way I would describe the style of the music is really like an electrified folk punk, because it's like we took Brent's songs that he was playing by himself, with just a lot of downstrokes on an acoustic guitar, and then turn it into a 6-piece band with 2 guitars and a trumpet.
Ironic enough, though, like some of the first songs I wrote that we played, like "Fool's Paradise," I just remember Milan actually showed me Zeitgeist for the first time, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I wrote this song called "Fool's Paradise," and it's still kind of relevant to what's going on. It has like those kind of themes in it, I guess you could say. Like the 1%,
apocalypse,
Illuminati,
conspiracy,
conspiracy kind of vibe. So
yeah. So when you were, you guys have been jamming for 3 years on Saturdays, and so, and Brent's music was sort of the brainchild. Is that the basic formulation for the album? Did you start with some of Brent's stuff, or did you guys like start with that and start jamming with that, and then write all new music for the album? How did that work out?
I
would say the root of the music is generally what Brent wrote, and then we kind of added our flair on top of it, or changed things around, or added our own personality to it. Let's see if you guys agree with that.
Yeah,
we worked them out
Yeah.
like full songs.
I think Feeling Perpetual and Stupid Monkey are the only two that are actually on the album that we wrote after we formed.
Yeah.
And Brent still, the formula for our songs is usually like Brent comes with like some chords and all the lyrics and structure pretty much written out. And we're
Yeah,
like,
and like an
okay,
idea of
you
how the
got it.
song should flow together and be like, this is where it changes, this is where this is. And then we all kind of work together to like flesh it out and make it like a really interesting thing that we all like.
Yeah, but now that we have like an album and a few more songs, I think we want to take a different approach to writing and be more
Yeah, we got
collaborative.
a lot more.
Yeah, we have been. The
Yeah.
newer songs that we haven't, that are not on this album, are all much more collaborative, where we all really worked on them. I mean, like the one we actually wrote the lyrics together for
Dollar signs?
Signs, yeah.
yeah. We wrote a lot.
And that's like more of like a surf punk song.
Yeah.
And then we have like a swing punk song. So we're kind of going in more of that direction, but
Oh,
yeah.
cool. And
We're getting dancier, but still not a ska band.
not a ska Hashtag not a ska band.
yeah, that's funny.
Donner.
So, you know, as your songwriting has evolved, do you guys feel that the songs, well, obviously you're changing some of the structures in the songs somewhat as you're evolving, but do you feel like the overall essence of who you are as far as musicians has stayed the same, or are you growing in that realm as well as like just adding into what you're trying to do with the music?
Like some of both. Like I think the main thing is like I've been mostly in like 3-piece bands all my life, so it's like there's always like a bass, a guitar, and drums, you know,
Right,
someone's singing,
right.
and it's like we have a lot more going on in this band, so it's like trying to figure out how to like play and leave room for each other, and like so other parts can like shine and stuff like that. It's been like a big learning experience. So
I was gonna say the
pretty
exact
cool.
same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like it's hard to nail down a genre. Like when people ask, I usually just tell them like rock and roll with horns now, because trying to describe, like we have like a lot of different, I don't know,
Yeah,
styles.
ultimately, you know, it's like
we
there's
have like
yeah.
swing vibes, and
It's definitely some ska influence.
kinda
Like,
like-
maybe.
Middle ska.
Might be
It
ska.
I don't know.
might be
Yeah.
some
Oh,
ska in
Who's
there.
to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's punk. I think it
Some-
definitely
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah.
punk music, but other than that, it's hard to pin down
Kind of
more.
have like a James Bond.
Yeah,
Surf-
we're like
Secret
kind of
agent
like
surf
James Bond, kind of like time travelers from the future to
And
save the
surfing.
world.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to
Imagine
add,
surfing.
one
James
thing I
Bond.
wanted to add is when I
You gotta
first
do it
met Brent and Milan and started jamming with them, I didn't know how to play like the basic punk drum beat, like the do cat do cat do that
Oh,
do
yeah.
cat. And Brent sat down on the drum set and played it and was like, "This is how it is," and he taught me that.
Oh, really?
It's just
I know
interesting
that.
to think that Brent taught me like the quintessential punk drum beat, and now here we are like a decade later and I'm playing it.
Oh, that's
Play
crazy.
this faster and faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fast.
So, you know, you kind of touched on one question related to like how you want or how you expect people to respond to your music. What do you think the overall like impact is going to be for the debut album? Because you've been playing some shows, but now folks can like take that back home and absorb it. Do you think it represents what you do live, or is it, or did you use the recording process to kind of experiment and go beyond what you would really play in a live situation?
I think there's quite a bit of experimenting on the recorded album because we went in and used like some synths and like midis and stuff to add like cool effects. We added like some quotes and stuff to make it more interesting and kind of messed around with things, and it took quite a while to finally get to where we are. So there was a bit of messing around.
Hugo got kidnapped by a space pirate, so he's not at every show. So we like him to be, but luckily we got him down here tonight. So that's
Yeah,
him
he's coming back for the debut
for the
show.
debut.
He's flying in.
But
for
like
the debut.
for the recording process, directly.
We bargained with the space pirates.
They're bringing him back for a show. Luckily, so.
We had to trade in one of our other guys, but we got Kiko.
Yeah, like the recording process, like really, I think when we were doing that, we realized kind of what everyone else was doing more, that we were like more conscious of it, and like going through that process really helped us like figure out like, okay, we should like, it helped us like fine tune everything and kind of figure that all out, because it's just something when you listen back to it like on a recording versus playing it live, it's like you kind of realize, oh, maybe we should leave some room here.
Yeah,
or
there's
like,
too much going on.
Yeah, like, a lot with the guitars, especially me and Adam. I think, I mean,
Yeah.
I've actually, this is my first band that I've ever played guitar in, and I think I don't know that you ever had a second guitar in some of your other bands. So, taking Brent's songs, and then we both kind of start from just playing his chords and then developing from there. In the recording process, we found a lot of spaces where we're like, well, we shouldn't both just be playing these chords on an electric guitar. It gets really muddy. So we kind of rewrote a lot of the guitar, like a lot of what we do on a guitar through the process, but we play it that way live now.
Yeah.
Oh, so when you're playing live, you're both playing the same things, or are you playing off each other? Like maybe somebody's playing the root and somebody else is playing thirds.
Yeah, more of that going on. So and like it was like before we were playing the same thing kind of, and then when we did went through the recording process, we kind of rewrote those parts, and like and then that's kind of how the way it is now. But
I would say that
but
I would say that the recording process definitely tightened down the nuts and bolts a bit for the whole thing. So that was pretty cool. But I wouldn't say it changed the sound of the record. Like it still sounds like a band in a room. Yeah, we might have added some audio quotes, more tying into that like more theatrical aspect of the band, but it still sounds like a band. It doesn't have any like electronic dance music or any sort of vibes like that. And for me it was really, really cool because I got to make a whole horn section, because before I'll play trumpet sometimes and I'll play trombone sometimes. It just whatever I feel like suits the song. So there's even a Barry on this record too, a baritone sax. So
oh wow, cool.
Got to have a whole horn section, which was big, really exciting for me to kind of see that come together.
Awesome. Yeah, it's like we got 3 Kikos at the same time.
They cloned him and brought him back.
Yeah, we did a cloning machine.
Yeah, the aliens are good for something.
Awesome. So I like to kind of go into your origin stories as individual musicians. So how did each of you get into music and start playing music? So maybe start with Brent.
My uncle was like, hey, you should play guitar, when I was like 10 years old. And I had an opportunity to join a guitar class in high school. I went to Arts Academy in the Woods, and it's pretty cool being able to play guitar in high school. And I just remember Zari was like, nobody could write a Blink-182 song. They're all already written. And I was like, yeah, this bullshit. I'll write a Blink-182 song. And I wrote like this song, Pretty for Punk, and everybody.
We were blown away. Yeah, we were
shit. And then I guess that kind of like boosted my ego a little too much. And
Awesome. So I'm just gonna jump in real quick. Do you guys know Michelle?
No.
Oh, well, she left. There was a Michelle trying to get in, and then she left. So.
Into the actual
I know.
podcast.
Yeah, into the Zoom. Sorry.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I can see them when they're because it's kind of locked down.
Multiple Michelles. There's a lot of Michelles.
Yeah. Well, if she comes back, I'll let her in, and hopefully we'll see what happens. Adam, how about you?
So I've been playing like in punk bands kind of most of my life. Since I was like 16, I started a band called Core Rotten with it was just a 3-piece, and we played. Yeah, it was like a hardcore punk band. We did that for a few years. Actually, went on a couple tours and stuff. It was pretty fun.
Nice.
And yeah, just been playing guitar ever since like I discovered Led Zeppelin actually, and then like kind of somehow it ended up into like hardcore 80s punk, and then yeah, just I mean I listen to I guess a lot of different stuff,
Cool.
but yeah, it's just been in a lot of different punk bands. So it's kind of always
Excellent.
how it's been.
Excellent. Excellent. Kyle, how about you?
So I mean, I started like tapping on my desk a whole bunch when I was in like seventh grade, and then started playing drums, and then I had friends that I jammed with, and I wasn't really in like a real band. I mean, we played like the talent show and stuff a couple
Right.
times or whatever, but um, it is worth noting me and Adam were in the same class in school. There was this fundamentals of music
Yeah.
class that we took where, we were supposed to be learning like beginner guitar and stuff, but it was also supposed to be like a band class where you put together songs and then play them at the end of the week. And we like just like broke our teacher. Adam like went to him and was like, no, they were trying to make us do like music theory, and he just like led the revolt.
Well, he made us put our instruments away, and I was like, I don't understand what this note means if I can't like play it too. And then instead of like changing it, he just stopped. We never did music theory again.
He was like, whatever.
It was weird. I'm not against theory or anything. I just like it's like at least let me play my guitar.
Yeah, Adam was playing shows and stuff already at the time, so he was like, I know how to solo an A, like, what are you doing, Mr. Matthews? So anyway, he was a senior, so Adam's a couple of years older than me, so but I jammed with those guys then. Let's skip forward a little bit, and I ran into Adam again at like a Halloween party for my one friend who was also in the class with us. I joined his band.
Yeah, Rube Goldberg. Yeah,
and then we played together for a while, and it was like COVID when we kind of
all the shows stopped and everything. So
we haven't really been playing shows since then. But Ante-Madder started like it
was a year. It was like 2021 November or something, I think.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was November 2020.
Oh yeah, that was way after.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only been in a couple other bands. All these guys have probably been in more bands than me.
Excellent. Milan, how about you?
Yeah, I grew up in like a pretty musical family. My dad played guitar, my mom sang traditional Macedonian folk songs.
Oh, cool.
My sister played piano, my brother did like battle rapping, and I would just like
what?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that part. Battle rap.
Get your brother in the band.
Yeah, what the heck?
You could feature. But, yeah, I just picked up the guitar at a young age. Played piano a little bit here and there. Then when I was like a teenager, I started playing in punk bands, and yeah, just never stopped. I love playing music, and I continue to do it.
Awesome.
The rest of my life. So yeah,
that's cool.
You do some really cool electronic stuff too now. That's like kind of cold wave.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. We got there's another solo project there for people to look out for.
All right. Cool,
yeah,
man.
he was like a big inspiration to me. We've been in like 3 or 4 bands, but his first band, 750s, like I wasn't in that band, so I was always like on the outside looking in. I was like, oh, I wish I could be like him.
I have a 750 shirt
so he, like,
still
he
hung
really
up on my
inspired
wall.
me to, yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I've only played bass for Brent's bands.
All right.
I don't know why, but I told Brent I'll support him as a bassist with any band.
He's a great bass player now.
Excellent. Tony, how about you?
Yeah, so I started playing guitar when I was 9. That was my first instrument. My parents were real supportive and got me lessons. Had a little see-through plexiglass purple half-sized electric guitar.
Nice.
Got it for Christmas. That was the start.
Hell yeah.
And so yeah, I just kept taking lessons. I played jazz band and stuff in high school. Played guitar in that, and studied guitar in college actually at Wayne State.
Oh.
And yeah, but actually the coolest thing about going to school for music was just kind of opening my world to all sorts of different instruments and singing and stuff like that. So I mostly don't play guitar anymore, but yeah, that's how it all started.
Wow, that's crazy. That's very cool. Awesome. And Mayor, how about you, man? I know I've heard the story, but this will be a new episode, so go
yeah, the story I told for Headless Mary was basically how I started drums with the band teacher, so I'm not going to retell that, but I think the more interesting story to tell here would be that me, Brent, and Milan all met at Little Caesars.
Yeah.
It was
Because that was my first job I ever had when I turned 16 was at Little Caesars, and they worked there. And then we all just started talking about music, and we ended up going over to our buddy Sean's house and like jamming there. And yeah, so the first real band I was ever in was what was that, 3 Watt Death Ray originally?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 Watt Death Ray. And then yeah, and then Brent was like, "Hey, this chick said that she wants to like sing." I was like, "Okay, cool." And then she comes downstairs and
out
it's
Jenny
Jenny, and I went to high school with her, and I was like, "I know her." And so that was a weird like feeling of like, small world kind of.
Yeah.
And then I've been in like 3 or 4 different bands with Milan now. There's 3 Watt, Max Ether. We were in Dogma I, now like Ante-Madder. And also I play in Gimme Paw with him occasionally. I hit the cajon, but that's like 95% Milan.
Awesome.
I'm just there for emotional support.
Who
Excellent.
played drums for Anal Everything then?
Oh yeah. I was
That one,
Blake
forgot
had
to mention
this
it.
anal everything, and yeah, I would play the bongos or the cajon or whatever for them.
Awesome.
Yeah, and a little fun fact, like I knew JJ, the guy who did the album art, before I actually met John's brother. And so that's how we kind of hit it off too. Yeah. Or Murr's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
all right.
Yeah, he made us.
It's like all coming back.
Yeah, Brent knew my brother before me.
Yeah.
That's it's kind of crazy because it's kind of a side story, but like small world shit, because there's so many times when I've run into somebody or talked to somebody and they go, we start talking and all of a sudden it's like, oh, do you know so and so? And even though there's like, I don't know how many fucking musicians there are in the state, you end up having this Kevin Bacon thing, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Because I swear to God, somebody's gonna know, Kyle that knows, Adam, blah blah blah, and it's gonna work out that way. I was just doing I'm putting on an event in Jackson in November called Gig, and I was doing some radio interviews this morning over in Jackson, and one of the radio hosts, her name is Mickey, and then I posted, they posted a picture of me with them, saying, "Hey, Chuck was here," so blah blah. But anyway, a friend of mine sees it who's in Arizona, but he used to be a DJ in Adrian. He goes, "Small world that, Mickey was an intern when, I was doing DJ work." And this was like back in the 80s. And I'm like, fucking, hey, what the fuck? This is crazy, So anyway. Have you had any other awesome 6-degree moments?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I'm sure.
I mean,
me and street from.
Yeah.
I was good friends with the guy who's the lead singer and bassist in Core Rotten, lived around the corner from my parents.
Yeah, he was like friends with his brother, and like
really
you
good
were
friends with
always
his
in that
brother.
we didn't even know each other back then, but like I was like playing with them at the same time. Like you guys were probably hanging out and stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, and especially if
there was also
playing a bunch of bands, you kind of get that vibe,
just like everyone knows Nick Rourke, like that guy. Like I think I've met everybody else through.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
It's like
Small world. That's Jenny's cousin too.
Yeah, which so
Which is
we're pulling the thread now.
I had 3 people tell me that Jenny Hattie was looking to be a singer in a band.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird. 3 people, like,
That's
telling
funny.
me that. It's kind of, then, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And she just lives 5 minutes down the street, too.
So, if you guys, if Ante-Madder could play anywhere in the world, where would you guys like to play? And who would you like to play? Who would you like to have on the bill with you?
Oh, that's tough.
Maybe we'll start with
Probably the moon, right?
Milan, what do you think?
Oh, the moon's sick.
Yeah, it's probably the moon.
Well, that's not.
I was gonna say the
I'll-
Vatican, but
Right.
I think the moon.
I would love to play in my homeland of Macedonia, where my family's from.
That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a close second.
And there's a band called Novia Pocheta. I'd love to play with over there, like a punk band.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that would be cool. Brent, how about you?
I think it'd be cool if we just like rented out the White House and like made it like a house and just like had a big old bash at the.
Brent's galaxy brain thinking here.
That's awesome.
But there's a price for everything, right?
The iron side.
Adam, how about you?
Oh man, I'm surprised you didn't say like the pyramid, like in the pyramids, like where all that.
People play at the pyramids. That's
Do
the
they?
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, then we can't do that.
Yeah.
No.
Didn't Slayer,
It's
I think Slayer did a video there, didn't they?
Really? Oh, okay. Yeah. Then,
Yeah, there's always like a
They'd be cool to play at.
gigantic crowd there.
I don't
it's
know
like
if their
you play
crowd
the
would like it.
pyramids, you can be like, look, I played for like 40,000 people. It's like, yeah,
But
you
yeah,
in
they
front
were
of the
visiting the pyramids already. Yeah.
Is there,
God, I don't know what band. Like if Fugazi would want to come out of
Yeah,
hiatus.
yeah,
there you go.
I'm thinking punk bands. I would want to put Fugazi or
Yeah.
Offspring. Those are kind of my favorite punk bands.
that
I'm
would be
sure Fugazi would come out of hiatus for us.
Just for us.
Just
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
pyramids, like we're
Yeah.
playing on top.
Yeah, that,
Get
that's the,
Fugazi
Like
on
that
the
dog
moon.
they found the other day. Top of the pyramid. Did you see
I
that?
saw that.
That's weird. I don't know how I got up there.
Kyle, how about you? Where would you like to play?
I mean, I love Taiwan, so I wouldn't say no to Taiwan. But yeah, same. I mean, similar like with what we are. I think Fugazi is still who I would like to play with. Or, I mean, my other favorite bands are like System of a Down and stuff. So I don't know that we'd really mesh that well,
Yeah,
overlap
that'd be
that well.
fine.
But
It would make for a fun show, though. I think
Oh yeah.
yeah,
have a
well,
contrast.
that's
The
it. Fugazi,
juxtaposition.
System of a Down.
Yeah, fuck yeah, yeah. Tony, how about you?
Well, some people might say I should dream big and do something like the White House or whatever, but I'm just gonna say or whatever. But I'm just gonna say play at Small's Bar with the Suicide Machines. I think that's a
Oh,
local
okay, yeah.
quintessential
That might be sort of
punk
a typical-
venue
That's
and
a
a
jam.
local quintessential ska punk band.
Yeah,
So
hell
I
yeah.
think that'd be perfect.
Way to be
That would be,
realistic.
yeah.
Realists like him and our
Yeah, he keeps us grounded. He's like, what's this space-time crap? No.
And Mayor, how about you?
I would say for Ante-Madder, I agree with Tony. The Suicide Machines would be awesome to play with. They're actually the first live show I ever went to was
Oh.
a Suicide Machines show. I went with Milan.
Oh, awesome.
And yeah, that would be cool. And I'm trying to think of a place that could one up what Pink Floyd did on Pompeii, but I can't. Like, I think playing on top of the volcano at Pompeii would be pretty sweet. I don't know if that's like
We'll
still
do
a
that.
feasible thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
They brought a whole dog up there, so who knows?
Japan would be pretty sick too. I heard they got a crazy
Japan would be sweet. My sister lives there, so
runner up.
oh,
but she doesn't know anybody that could
could book a show. Could get you
Yeah,
guys
no, she just lives there.
Oh, crazy. So, sort of along those, well, not really the same thing, but as far as like influences, was there, a couple of albums that really had a deep impact on your musical journey? And it could be albums or songs or just a band in general, like you just totally dig whoever. Let's start with Mare.
Well, here we'll do some different ones than what I gave for Headless Mary. I would say Operation Ivy's Energy is a huge influence on my drumming, specifically for Antimatter, just as like punk ska. Also, Suicide Machine's first album. What was that one called?
I can't think of it right now.
It's like
Destruction by definition.
yes, yeah, Destruction by Definition. Yeah, that one is a huge influence. The drummer on that album is awesome. And just like also like No Gods, No Managers for like Leftover Cracker, that kind of vein.
Yeah.
Those are all big influences for my drumming as far as it goes for Antimatter.
Cool. Tony, how about you?
Oh boy. So for me, I think Streetlight Manifesto, it would be if I had to name one.
Wow.
Streetlight's energy to me is like just falling apart and rock solid at the same time, and I just love it so much. And so that's kind of where I got my start into like, hey, I should stop playing guitar and play some of those shiny things. But yeah, so
Cool.
but yeah, all sorts. I grew up on, Nirvana and Chili Peppers and that kind of 90s
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, that's what kind of brought me here today.
Cool. Very cool. Kyle, how about you?
I'd have to say, like, first off, like, I'd give a different answer if we're talking about like Rube Goldberg, because with Antimatter, it's like the number one inspiration I have for the songs is Brent. When he first wrote the songs and showed
Yeah.
them to me, I was like, this is something here. I love System of a Down and Nirvana and stuff, so my own personal stuff when I'm writing stuff from scratch is more influenced by that. And like me and Adam's other band was like, we were like a rock solid Fugazi inspired band, punk band sort of. But yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Right.
Cool. Brent, how about you?
That's solid. What?
Oh, was I queuing him up?
Yeah. Cue him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys already dropped like all the ones I was gonna say, like Streetlight, System of a Down, Pop Ivy, like just basically 90s, stuff. But like to kind of add on to that, I was super heavy into basketball and rap like growing up, not gonna lie. So like just the whole like old school hip hop, a lot of people say that my lyrics sound like rap.
Yeah.
And it's 'cause me and my buddy used to get into like rap battles all the time. I'm definitely heavily inspired by like
with Milan's brother.
Yeah, you guys got like a really
I my brother.
We might have crossed paths in
Yeah, quite
battle
the
rap
rap.
once or twice. But
Awesome.
yeah.
I think that adds, I think it's cool when you throw something in that's like not genre specific necessarily, it's kind of like an outside influences.
There's a lot of like EDM bands I like too that are, I don't know, thinking of like Marshmello and Alan Walker are very like inspirational, kind of like moody. So I don't know if you can combine all those things together, but having like electronic music in there too is definitely inspirational stuff.
Cool. Milan, how about you?
For Antimatter, specifically, I kind of try to emulate, Matt Freeman from like Op Ivy and Rancid, just his walks and plays super hard with the pick, and when he like draws out the notes, he uses his fingers. So I try to do that kind of stuff with like the W parts. And just overall like 90s skate punk, street punk. I don't know.
Yeah.
Vibe and energy. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. And Adam, how about you?
So for like Antimatter, like normally my answer is like Fugazi and like like Minor Threat or something, but like for Antimatter, like when I heard Brent's like music for the first time, I kind of thought, and even Milan's like solo stuff, like Mischief Brew, Bach and Neil, like that album mainly. And then also like especially we've been doing like kind of venturing into like swing at times.
Yeah.
So like Tiger Army, I mean that's kind of like more rockabilly, psychobilly or whatever, but kind of channel like that kind of guitar
squirrel nut zippers.
Squirrel nut zippers.
Yeah, squirrel
Yeah,
nut.
that's what I was gonna say too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, that and yeah, and then just I mean I like the way like Imakai and like his guitar sounds and stuff, and Fugazi, like the way he picks, and they were really inspired by like reggae and Iggy and the Stooges, which
sure.
was like a weird combination, but
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's like I mean, and maybe there's some ska influence, but you know,
We're gonna-
Maybe.
talk about that. You know,
I'm gonna deny that ska influence. And,
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Pretty much, if it was on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, it probably influenced us to some degree.
I'm a big No Doubt fan, actually.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Oh, that's funny.
I went through like a big like emo phase too, so you could say like My Chemical Romance and The Used and all those kind of
The
bands
Used is
too.
a fantastic band. I love The
Yeah,
Used.
so they're definitely, and then of course James Bond, 007 was very
Just in general.
Just in general.
Just in general.
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
influential.
Spy.
The Used and like Taking Back Sunday have like a lot of like vocal harmony stuff
Yeah.
that, you know,
Yeah.
I think we have more of a, I don't know that our vocal harmonies end up being as clean as that. They sound more groupy, maybe. I don't know, but
I like it. I mean, like I think
I like
it's
them both a lot.
We got like a doo-wop
this is
thing
like the
going
first
on.
band that I've been in that does like vocal harmonies. Period. I think so. And it's like it sounds great. Like that's like been something to experiment with. That's really cool. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, this is also the only band I sing at all, and I just tell them like pick a vowel, and I can do that and play the drums. Like if you want me to do like an ooh, ah, e, I, sometimes a y, but don't make me sing words. I can't say words on the drums at the same time. It doesn't work.
Oh man.
Milan's got quite the falsetto. Though, I'd say.
I'm always impressed with bands that can do, harmonies, whether, they're, it's just, I mean, having played guitar, I can't sing at all, and so anybody that can vocalize while playing guitar, you've got to, and especially a drummer too, like fucking drummers that sing, like holy shit, like.
I never said my singing was good.
It's like I'm already doing 4 different things. I might as well do a 5th. Like
right, yeah. There's something else in there. Yeah,
yeah, it's hard. I play guitar and bass and drums, but honestly, playing bass and singing is harder.
I was gonna say that too.
And playing
Oh,
drums
really?
is harder.
Yeah.
Guitar is by far the easiest.
Crazy. So it does sound like, from you guys talking about the different bands you were in and this band, that if anything, this band is forcing, or not, maybe force isn't the right word, but it is causing each of you as musicians to kind of expand your worlds. Is that a fair assessment?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And especially just in the form of like needing to collaborate and plan things out more, when you got as many layers as we were putting into these songs, you have to really be more careful rather than just being like, well, I'm just going to play whatever feels cool.
Right. Yeah, because like you guys were talking about, just discovering that you both, as just guitar levels, right? Just you can't just both be slamming away at the same chord. You could, but it's just going to be like a wall of mud potentially,
right?
As opposed to something that's layered and nuanced and's got some cool, depth. As opposed to
or if we're both doing our own kind of nuanced version of it, but they're just totally different. There's a lot of that. I think both of us have a tendency to be like, oh, those are the chords. Okay, I got a cool way to play that.
Right.
And we're both just doing something totally different. And it's like sometimes it sounds cool, and then sometimes it doesn't, and it's totally random because we didn't.
That's like why the album took so long to record.
That's part of why the album took so long.
That was one. Yeah. Also, we're like learning how to be better audio engineers in the process too. Like, which that's, I wouldn't call us audio engineers, but we're learning, and it's been a lot of fun just figuring out how to do that, because mixing with that many instruments is like that alone. It's just tough to like get everything to be clear.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's actually a good question that I meant to ask earlier and forgot. But how did you guys record and mix? Did you use a professional studio? Did you have any like production engineers, any of that stuff, or did you do it all DIY?
DIY.
Oh,
DIY.
DIY.
They got the setup in the
Got us some
basement.
It's not trying to grow.
Yeah. So, but
Nice.
you
It
know,
was pretty much all set up for recording drums, and so I just sat down and did it. But then, like, in retrospect, we should have like made tempo maps and like had the BPM set for me to record too.
Yeah, that's what we're
And
gonna
that ended up
yeah.
like being kind of a pain to work around, but we figured it out.
yeah, and you
Yeah,
know,
okay,
even
I'll just one
that's you
function,
don't even
but-
have to do that, all that really. It's just, but it
do.
was,
Well, I already made the power tab.
yeah,
so.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's not
it-
necessary, especially for like a punk band. You know, kind of sounds better if it's not so neat and tidy.
Well, for sure. Yeah.
just yeah, we recorded it all in our basement and like at our leisure, which was nice, but then at other times it's like you realize like, oh wow, I don't even play this part the same anymore. We've played like 6 different shows, and then so you re-record it, and you know, so it evolves. It's cool that when you have the time to do that, sometimes it just kind of takes
Yeah,
longer.
honestly,
Yeah.
getting the guitars recorded took a
I
lot.
also play
Getting
pretty
all the
much
horns in 'cause
every
Eco
song
moved on stage
faster.
and stuff, too.
Yeah.
So so that leads to another question. Did the recording so it sounds like the recording evolved over time then. So as you
Oh, yeah.
so
Oh,
so
definitely.
you could, like, on the album you might hear a song that was recorded, I don't know, last year, and then one that was recorded 6 months ago. Is that-
Oh, you'll hear. a
Well,
bunch
I've
of
recorded
songs
all the drums 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
That was all done. I couldn't go back and redo any of that.
And like you wouldn't really necessarily
It was
know
all set in stone.
listening to it. It's more just because like everything kind of changed like as it went. Like, you know, it's like, oh, I think I can do that part better. It's like still you get the time to do all that when you're doing it yourself at home, as opposed to being on the clock in like a
Right.
studio.
Yeah, because then you've got only so much time and
Yeah.
and money, really.
Right,
So
yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
limiting factor.
The upside is it's done in like a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So-
So it has pros and cons. You
Yeah.
know, like it was nice being able to like fine tune everything and really find our sound and like how we want everything to, you know,
Yeah.
it was nice in that it took a lot longer, but I think we did a decent job at figuring that out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
So do you think you'll continue to do that method going forward, or will you go to a studio or
I do a
something?
different method. We might still do a DIY.
I
but
think we'll change a few of it.
Yeah, we've
Like,
learned
I
a
would
lot
like to
from just
probably
that whole
set
process.
tempo maps.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we learned a lot from just that process and like the different tools that you can use and like how to mix everything together. So it's like I don't think the next time would take as long
Right.
now that
No.
we've kind of like in that whole process we've come up with
We
a
laid the
product.
groundwork.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
the conflicting guitars thing has not been such an issue with the newer songs that we're writing because we write them for 2 guitars.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know, I
that was
feel
the
like a lot
main
of the
difference,
old
is,
songs
like,
that was
they
took us a
started
long
with
time to
one.
yeah, it started as both of us just learning Brent's guitar part. So then that took a long time to kind of like realize what was going on and write it differently than that. Because the newer songs Brent comes to us that are like less totally like this is the song already. And Feeling Perpetual was like that. And you'll notice if you listen to it, it has more like we're doing 2 different
Yeah, there's
guitar
more
parts that layer
riffs going
properly
on
over
it.
themselves, and that's how we wrote it originally, so we didn't have to like go back and rewrite it.
Right.
Yeah, well, and then you get an idea every now and then, and you're like, "Oh man, I think that would sound really cool." And then, then you go back,
Right, like for dollar signs,
we
you're
got
like,
time,
let's
right?
write a song about robbing a bank.
Yeah.
And then we all played off of that, and it became like one of my favorite songs that we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, it's very surf influence.
Yeah, and that one I know everything that I'm playing. Like that was the thing with the guitar parts. A lot of them, like I didn't play it the same way every time. Like I would just play the
Like always
chords that-
workshopping.
Yeah, it was always like workshopping
like
it
jazz.
while we're playing it.
We were a
Yeah,
freeform
so a lot of
jazz.
the newer
punk
songs are
band.
more set in stone.
Awesome. So do you think then, since you've had this evolution with like basically figuring out how you want the sound for this album, but then in the course of that, like figuring out the dynamics of the band and really kind of figuring out how you want the sound to go forward. Do you feel like you have a formula that you want to stick with, or is it more like, we really love the experimentation, the discovery, the learning, and that's what we're going to continue to do?
I think
we have.
Experiment.
Yeah.
It's like a yes and no answer. Like I think we found like our sound and how we want to like, play everything. But it's hard to like hold ourselves down to a certain style or genre. Like you'll see, especially with some of our new songs, we're kind of like all over the place. And we have some swing songs, we have some punk songs, we have all kinds of different stuff, and we don't really want to limit ourselves to a certain style or anything.
It's fun trying different stuff still, like but like at least for like the recording and stuff like that. I mean, I think it's just like we played so many times together and like that it's kind of more just natural now. That's the big difference is like
yeah. Although it has been pretty natural the whole time, because I mean, you and me have been playing together for a long ever, and they've been playing together forever. So that was kind of the cool thing about the band from the beginning, is that we all just vibe.
Right.
Really
Yeah.
well.
Having Milan as the bass player specifically just works really well because he's been the bass player since the first band I was ever in. So like me and him just kind of like sync our brain waves together as the rhythm section, and it's really easy for me to play along with Milan. So
we can tell where
works well.
we're going. Yeah, like I can play along to Murr very well. Like hits and everything, we're just kind of synced up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what are you most excited about for folks on Saturday when you guys unleash the album?
Ooh. We got a time machine.
Freaking time machine.
No more detail. No more details. No surprise.
There's a time machine.
Yeah, we just got we've got some props. We're gonna put on may or may not. Like so we didn't build anything massive or anything like that.
But there will be a time machine.
It's not fog, there's not, nice glowing lights and sound effects or anything like that we have planned.
It's the Halloween
just
party.
a normal, I mean, I guess that does just sound like a normal Halloween show, doesn't it? Like, but there's more, I swear.
Do you think you'll carry it? I guess it is Halloween, but do you think you'll carry it forward? Do you think the theatrical props will become part of the?
Oh, they've already been.
Oh,
yeah, we always wear these stupid hats.
Oh yeah, we got our character
costumes. Yeah,
and like we've been wanting to expand that more since the beginning. It's just we've
expanded and script it more.
It's been we've had so much going on, like just working on even the game together and stuff, and now it's starting to come together more. Like
the original idea was to switch it up every time. Like one show will be ninjas, one show will be here's one show will be.
But costumes get expensive.
Yeah.
But that's where we want to go. It's just keep them on their toes. You never know what will be next or where we'll be.
Awesome. So it won't be necessarily the amino acids where you guys just have black jumpsuits and white stockings on your heads. It's going to be
not
constant
totally. That's kind of how
constant evolution.
It's just our own.
I'm a different type of wizard every time. I might still be a wizard, but there's like dark magic, white magic, and every shade in between.
Different variations.
Right. We kind of want to evolve over time, like a RPG. First you start with a wooden sword, then you get
a level up.
Yes.
Metal sword, and then you get a lightsaber, and then
skill tree.
Then
Guar eventually will just become.
We'll just that's final evolution is Guar. So
and so does the live machining. I mean, obviously you guys have characters and things that are going on stage. Or do you pull your audience in to make them part of the story?
Yeah,
we try.
We had our buddy be a a space pirate and attack Brent on stage one time with a sword.
Yeah, we had
But
killed in the middle of
that ended up being a mess because it, like, tipped
a
over some
pirate.
swords.
It's a
freaking
space pirate.
Yeah, not our friend. No
Yeah,
association.
Random space pirate.
We don't know this guy. He hopped up on stage and
not
attacked
playing.
Brent. And the whole idea was for me to come and like
Wait,
heal
what?
Brent with my
Brent
wizardry.
is the character I'm
And
playing.
I went to do it, but he just stayed on the ground. And I was like, I healed you. Get up. And then like nobody told Kyle, I don't think, about this. So Kyle was just like, what the hell is happening? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, not the most organized, and yeah, sure, but
Space Pirate definitely knocked over
It's
Kyle's
pretty
amp.
funny,
dude.
yeah.
So
Oh, Space Pirate, man.
Anytime John's at a show, something gets broken.
yeah, a PA or a guitar.
And it's part of the being punk, you know. You're not. It's
Yeah,
not
our shows
really a
get pretty
punk
rowdy.
show unless something
John kicks
breaks.
over my amp. Yeah.
Yeah.
or something else to the PA system.
Yeah, that's how you know you had a good show.
Oh, yeah. If shit's broken, we had a good show.
But yeah, we
Was it really a punk show if nothing got broke?
Yeah, true.
But yeah, we like threw some Nerf swords into the crowd,
Yeah.
trying to get people to join our group. We want to get a ton of like tomatoes that they could throw at us. Try to make it more interactive.
Yeah. If you don't like it here, like here's a rotten tomato. Feel free. Like
Yeah. The idea is kind of to make it like an augmented reality, so it's like they're part of this whole thing too. Like you
Yeah.
know, bring them into our world, right? We're not
Yeah.
coming in their world; they're coming in our world.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea.
yeah.
We're working on it.
Awesome, man. That sounds great. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for being on Fans of Bands. I really appreciate it, and I've got one last question for you, and that is, pineapple or no pineapple on pizza, Adam?
Pineapple.
Oh, and definitely not pineapple on pizza. Like, I'm not against pineapple. I'm just saying, like, I'm
Not on pizza.
not on pizza.
This isn't
Not on
discussed
pizza.
bad before.
Yeah.
Kyle?
No.
Kyle, how about you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pineapple's
Yeah?
good.
All right. Brent?
Pineapple and pepperoni though.
Oh, all right.
Psychotic.
The Italian in me is telling me to say no, but
Yeah.
it's,
Well,
it's
listen.
a yes.
It's okay. I don't hold it against you guys.
All right. Milan, how about you?
I say pineapple's a nice change of pace.
Oh, what am
Never
I
really
even
smoked,
doing
so, yeah,
here?
it's a nice treat.
No, it's fine.
Tony, how about you?
Pineapple. If
Pineapple.
it's in combination with anything.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like it's very heavy pineapple. And Mayor, how about you? I can't
Unpopular
remember.
opinion.
My answer
We're
is
popular.
if someone's provided the pizza and there is pineapple on it, I'm gonna eat it no matter what. I don't care what's on it. I'm just gonna eat
That
this
wasn't the
pizza.
question.
But would you
I'm not
order it
opposed
yourself?
I'm not for it. I guess
Alright.
I wouldn't order it myself.
Yeah.
But if someone handed me a slice of pizza with pineapple on it, I'm eating that for
That's
sure.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. You never deny
That-
pizza.
yeah,
I
no,
think we're
that's-
all in agreement.
Yeah, the best pizza is a free pizza, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. But I'm Adam, I'm with you. I don't think pineapple should be anywhere near the pizza. It's like
Yeah,
why?
it's all right. Yeah, we're more and more the minority, but
Oh man. Well guys, thanks again for being on Fans with Bands. I really appreciate it.
yeah. That's
Thank
a lot.
you, Chuck.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And I'm looking forward to checking out the full album when it comes out. That'll be awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks,
Cool.
Chuck.
See you
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a good one.
Many thanks to Mayor, Brent, Adam, Kyle, Milan, and Tony from Ante-Madder for joining me on this episode of Fans with Bands. It was a lot of fun talking with them about their music, punk, not ska, songwriting, and origin stories. If you haven't heard their new album, Psychosocial Pseudoscience, wow, that is a lot of words. Get on it. It is a highly charged thrill ride of punk rock music. Ante-Madder's next show is December 13th at the Lexington Bar in Detroit. Don't miss it. See the show notes for all the details and links. Bands are nothing without you, the fans. Purchasing music and merchandise is critical to their survival. If you can help out your favorite bands, please do. If you're in Michigan, consider following the Playing in Detroit Area Tonight and SE for Southeast Michigan Music Facebook pages. They are fantastic places for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show, telling your friends, telling your neighbors, telling your family, telling your priest, tell everyone, and leave a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.